The border community of El Paso, Texas, continues to mourn following last weekend's horrific mass shooting that led to 22 dead and dozens injured. The suspect allegedly wrote a hate-filled anti-immigrant manifesto before he opened fire inside a Walmart located just 5 miles from the border with Mexico. The shooter is from outside Dallas, but he's accused of targeting a city that's more than 80% Hispanic. Texas Congresswoman Veronica Escobar claims that's why he chose El Paso.
A racially motivated terrorist attack on our safe and tranquil community. The shooter came into our community because we are an Hispanic community and because we have immigrants here. He came here to harm us.
So in an article on CBSNews.com, political reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez explores why El Paso, the ground zero of the border debate, was a shooting target. He joins me now from Washington. I want to bring in Camilo Montoya-Galvez, who's looking at El Paso, and he joins us now from Washington, D.C. You're not looking at video gaming, but you're looking at sort of why El Paso and Ground Zero has really become the grounds for the border debate. And you join me now from Washington. So, you know, I was pointing out when we were breaking on Saturday on this story, you look at the just geography of El Paso on a map. It's hard to ignore the fact it borders right there with Mexico. What are you seeing about these border cities, and why do we have a sense of why the shooter may have targeted El Paso?
Well, Rena, if we look at this through the belief, which is looking like it's true, that the gunman who killed 22 people inside that Walmart in El Paso was motivated by racial animus and hatred towards Latinos and immigrants, well, it's pretty clear why he would target a place like El Paso, right, which means the pass in Spanish, right? It sits on the intersection of two states with large Latino communities, New Mexico and Texas, and has an international border with Mexico, right? It's a predominantly Latino community, home to a large group of bilingual speakers, workers who cross the international bridges on a daily basis to go to work, right? So unfortunately, I think it's pretty clear why the shooter, if he was motivated by an animus towards Latinos and immigrants, would target a place like El Paso.
Why do you think it is, of all the places in El Paso, why was it this particular Walmart was targeted? Do we have a sense?
Right, so I was just in El Paso 2 weeks ago, and this Walmart is only a couple of miles from the international border with Mexico. You're not only going to see members of the El Paso community in that Walmart, but a lot of Mexican nationals. We already heard from the Mexican Foreign Ministry that at least 7 of their citizens were killed during this horrific attack. So again, this just adds to the factors that the shooter probably thought about when carrying this attack.
So what kind of reaction are you hearing from local officials and politicians there in El Paso? What are they saying?
Right, so I spoke to the city's Congresswoman, Veronica Escobar, who has really become a national leader on border issues and immigration since she joined Congress earlier this year. And she told me, right, and other community members told me that the attack not only represented obviously a very horrific act, but also an assault on the city's values, right, on the compassion that they have shown to tens of thousands of migrants that have come to the U.S.-Mexico border just this year. You know, they have built a big network of shelters in El Paso to house, feed, and shelter tens of thousands of migrants this year alone, right? And they're still undergoing that. You know, they paid more than $1 million in hotel rooms at one point during the spring just to house the migrants because it was at the height of the surge. And so, you know, they believe that not only were they targeted because of their diversity, right, because this is a majority Latino city, but also because of the work that they've done on behalf of migrants.
You know, that's one thing I have to say has been fascinating during this presidential administration is you had the travel ban enacted, and to see all these people that Saturday that the travel ban was enacted flood JFK Airport, and to hear you talk about what many people might not be aware of in El Paso, regular folks coming together to help their community. Where do you see the citizens going in the next couple of days, particularly as the president heads over there?
Well, someone that I talked to, someone who leads the Hope Border Institute, this is a nonprofit group in El Paso, which helps migrants in the local Latino community, said that if they were attacked because of their compassion, if they were attacked because of their generosity, then they're just going to double down on that, right? And show the rest of the country that those values are worth fighting for, right? So I don't think, although it is a very unfortunate situation, I don't think it's going to hinder the efforts of community members who are helping these migrants. And of course, we're going to see, as a lot of them have already said, that many people will oppose the president's potential visit to the city on Wednesday.
All right, Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you very much, Camilo, for joining us.
Thank you, Rena.